take a second, we reflecting with the light, but this the life, I fucking love it. Wouldn't trade it to be white, now that's alright. I got the right at birth, the devil's redefining worth.
Someday you'll pay the price.
No, I don't break a fold, I need and bake the dough, then recreate the flow. They think they making though, what they forsake is so essential. Over lentils, get your issue, guess who's on this instrumental with you? Gives a damn if we was family, view unread and call it spam. I'm not a fan of Antichrist, they slayed the man, I swayed the Tim like here I am, the son of Sam is taking shots at David Berkowitz. Pussy.
Someday you'll pay the price.
A different discipline existed in this New York state of mind. Say since not not the actor, but the year we's effort. Not one thing in mind to grind until this gavel turns his words to mirth from Babel. Since 69, I follow protocol. This kingdom built on guy bones, so I can't love Esau, and I can't fuck with y'all. I ain't gotta say it twice, you vouching for the enemy, but
someday you'll pay the price.
Look, my father ain't have a father cause of dope, I'm anti-politics, cause Christ died from a vote. How the richest nation locked the homeless up for being cold. How ironic they relating smoking weed to getting stoned. You trim your ways and seek they love. I'ma bring this sword back wet with a vesta dipped in blood. Niggas giving up when they don't even give enough. Going nowhere fast, niggas always in a rush. I give them love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. No way I can serve another God. I give my love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. I can't serve another God. Cold-blooded.
I reside with sign there ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder, you ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat, hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fuckers scared some, get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drum, black and yellow Air Ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest, I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking, now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit, lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third, lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all steppin', kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS, a mean right. That's mean right, we build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a cod. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoking, so we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they boss shit. These niggas better move and coach shit. As if they make the wrong move and coach shit. They see me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. Coming up on my divorce shit.
We talking about practice, not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we talking about practice.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere other than one that is not me. It's beef, we strut a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach him with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'm a goat, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They ring got the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe, connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this, nigga, I eat bars and drink flows, thinking you woke into your third eye peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game, these niggas lame, state bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim. Tell him runner, he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Laugh at these niggas once again and I ain't break a sweat. Number 1 at everything I do, that's why I'm one west. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this, janitor with the mop stick. You gon' need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10 I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't write, I find shit. I don't like it, then I switch. If I touch it, it's diamond. Tell a bitch that I'm God sent. It ain't because my kicks is built like 5'6", 5'7" is my bitch. Dangerous, high risk, I lose it, get another one. You think I'm talking about a girl, I'm talking about another gun. We head now, hey look, it is what it is now. We don't fuck with the house niggas, we burn the crib now. I'm ahead now, and I hope they can head now. I don't care if you think it's it, nigga, I don't fear clown. Silences make it sound like raindrop, that's a quiet storm. Get the job done in the view and get fired on. If you niggas standing for nothing, what you dying for? If you put real with real, that's how I was born. Walking this bitch ready for war, I'm in riot form. I want these niggas to see me flesh, that's why I am armed. I shouldn't live in the crib, nigga, I should buy a farm to go through this shit so effortless. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is, I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is, I'm not 2 and I'm not 3.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man, shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga.
I bet where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, oh they lies, this hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert, another cop just stress the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit, and I ain't listening, is in fact the If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jack the Ripper. War, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he saying something, I ain't him. This shit like it ain't on who got this gun, it's on who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never break the hand and feature, you will never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow side, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Yeah. Hey, y'all was just about to call Malcolm. Y'all was just about to call.
Y'all was just about to call, sir.
So like, y'all could hear to walk. I have an internet problem.
Yeah, I think we're going in and out.
Yeah, it's a little laggy and choppy on my end, sir.
I'm to wow, sir.
Okay, then name for sure. It ain't gonna be me. Now talk about you. How you on this?
I hear you're going in and out.
Even now, it's going in and out.
No, right at this moment, no.
Okay. Okay, no sweat. Saka G, how the audio is down for you?
I'm hearing you clearly, sir. It's just a video a little choppy. Everybody moving, you know what I'm saying? But it's to WAP on my end, though.
Okay, most time. All right, let's try to rock it out. If it's start to act up, just say something, and we're gonna try to switch it up. You know what I mean?
Count on one count.
All right, most high in Christ. You know what I mean? We back again Saturday night. Clap it up. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna be here tonight. Gonna be hardest looking man in Israel for sure. We're gonna hold it down and try to give you all a show. You know what I mean? The best way we can. That's how he would be on here dropping it. You know what I mean? Definitely have a good few stories tonight. Of course. And who are the drill concerts in the background?
Salaki, that's me, sir.
I was hearing some drill music going on there.
Yeah, that card and that Daniela right now.
I know I was hearing some background. Salaki. Yeah, we're gonna be out here soon, Saka. Yeah, I know you're trying to let me know where you're going. You know what I mean? I see you done decked off with the gold and blue. Yeah, I mean matching. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean you done set to the whole tone. You know what I mean? As usual, of course, we are Captain Nathak always on the inside, rocking the top. You know what I mean? We are Captain Nathak. Yeah, upstate New York. You know what I mean? Bringing in a good heat. You know what I mean? Of course, Captain Sack G down there in Memphis, rocking it up. You know what I mean? I'm going to jump on later. Gadalha might join us. I know he told me he might be at the event or the Juneteenth stuff going on. You know what I mean? Captain Ash for sure. He sometimes jump in. I don't think he make it in tonight. We gonna rock it out. You know what I mean? We have some good stories tonight for sure. And we got to get some time to that. Them Proud Boys, bro. Like them Negroes, not just the Proud Boys, but the Oath Keepers and the all the Trumpsters. Them Negroes supposed to be facing death penalty. That was an insurrection. That was not a protest, boy.
Yes.
That thing was an insurrection. You know what I mean? So I can pick up Ash on the inside. He say, "You watching Most High Christ, Ash? Most High Christ." You know what I mean? Yeah, man. That there was, shit. I lived through a coup, so I already know what they wanted to do. So, I lived through a coup at 10 years old. I know exactly what the hell they wanted to do with that shit there. But that 9-page plan to take over every goddamn thing, I'm like, yo, if it wasn't for the law, there'd be no flesh to save. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's right. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So,
which explains why the cops and them didn't pull the guns out and try to shoot them people, because they know that they would get mowed down.
Listen, I think that even you're right with that for sure from the cops seeing it. But it's down there like the cops should have pulled their guns out now. Yeah. Because this was a coup. This was a coup d'etat. Yep. This was a insurrection. This was a mutiny upon the HMS Bounty. You remember that old school story? This was, make the captain walk the plank. That's what this was. Walk the plank. Walk the plank. Right. Yeah, I mean, go sleep there with Jolly Roger. Walk the plank. That's what this was. You know what I mean? So we're going to devote some time to that thing. And, you know what I mean? And get in a little bit. You know what I mean? But we have some other stories. I don't know. Anyone y'all want to lead off with in particular?
If I could, sir, we're going to get into the whole January 6th thing. If I could, I want to just start with I don't know if we want to even go into the story because it's so disgusting. But this story about the Little Nas X and this whole Pride Month thing, and I just wanted to just let brothers and sisters know that, in these times that we're living in, man, it is an honorable and righteous thing to stand with the Lord against this evil that is being pushed on us as a people and on our children concerning this whole homosexuality and this, bringing in the full out Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I mean? For we to be in the month of June where Esau supposedly gave us a Juneteenth day to celebrate the end of slavery, for our oppressor to try and couple that with the rainbow and all of this homosexual and LGBTQ pride. You know, it's an honorable and a righteous thing to know the Lord in these days and to be listening to the prophets and the priests of the I.S.U.P.K. to be able to have the strength to stand against this evil, man, because if it wasn't for this school and if it wasn't for this truth, there would damn near be no strength in the earth to fight against this thing. I mean, it's coming at you from all sides. You go on your goddamn Google, the search bar got a rainbow in it. You kids go on Disney, there's a whole rainbow section on the goddamn Disney. You know what I mean? I play the video games. They got rainbow jerseys in Madden. It's ridiculous how much the homosexuality is being poured out on this place. And so I just thank the Most High for the truth, man. They trying to put, you know, words in the dictionary that it's just everywhere. Like I said, I don't know if you want to do the story cap, but the evil of this place is reaching, you know, the heights that we read about in the scriptures where the Lord said the sins of this place has reached unto heaven. And it is honorable and righteous to stand with the Lord in these days.
You're so right, You're so right.
Yeah. Yeah. And to boot too, you know what I mean? My question is, why didn't have Gay Pride Month for the month of July? Because they don't celebrate in Independence Day. Why they don't have the Gay Pride Month as being in month of July?
Right.
They're trying to push that on us.
Right.
They're trying to fully push it on us to the point that whereas it could also tie into A$AP Rocky and that Carmichael fella.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With that conversation of Carmichael, you know what I mean, looking for somebody to be in his corner with him coming out. And then find out A$AP Rocky going to the girls' department for their clothes. Like,
yeah. Now attack your mic like it went out a little bit. I don't know if it get disconnected or it's switched.
Yeah, I think it's switched.
It probably switched.
Give me 1 minute. I'm
no
cut out and come.
No sweat. Ain't no sweat. You know what I mean? Yeah. I hear you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's back up now.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, all that for sure can tie together. You know what I mean? The A$AP Rocky, this one, and that Catholic priest. He said the church can't be Catholic no more. You know what I mean? He pulled all the way out of that. He said that's that. You know what I mean? Yeah, the article?
Yeah, come
on.
Lil Nas X wants Bussy added to the dictionary for Pride Month. That's the message Grammy-winning artist Lil Nas X is sending, at least, and we are on board 100%. Over the weekend, the industry baby rapper and singer tweeted that for Pride Month, it's really important that our government finally takes a stand and adds Bussy to the dictionary. We couldn't agree more.
That's crazy.
Now, dictionary.com has decided to step up and be a true ally, replying, "We added W.A.P to the dictionary, so anything's possible. Happy Pride indeed."
Damn. So Bussy is supposed to be what, code for a man? Or
it's disgusting, sir. If I could, and the charge for this goes on that Christian church, because everything that we see taking place with this whole homosexuality now is built on the backs of all the years that we allow the old sexualization of our women. You know what I'm saying? And I.S.U.P.K, not only are we against the homosexuality and the evil and the ills that comes from that, but we've been speaking since 1969 about the evils of whoredom, you understand, and promiscuity amongst our women in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community.
Right.
And what this gay and homosexual community is doing is they're taking the fact that, okay, you allowed your daughters to be whores and your daughters to parade themselves and be half naked and the twerk and, you know, dancing in the street. Well, why is it a double standard if now we get the boys to do it? When them trying to put this into the dictionary for them to use the justification of, well, you allow W.A.P to go in the dictionary, that charge goes on the Christian church, because why would you allow for W.A.P to be something that's in the dictionary?
That's correct.
Why would you stand by silently all these years while our daughters were paraded as whores and sluts on the television, and they allowed to twerk and dance on poles and, you know, just promoted the the idea that a woman's sexual liberation is in her being free to be a whore, the trickle down effect of that is now that the oppressors coming after the men, it's, well, you let the girls do it, why can't the boys have fun? You know what I mean? And that charge goes on that Christian church, because if they would have been following these scriptures and doing what the Lord said to do, we would have not allowed our daughters to be paraded as whores and to be sold as prostitutes, you understand, to our oppressor for the pastors to line their pockets, you understand, or for these pimps who parade themselves as being leaders in our community to get a couple dollars in their pockets. I mean, the righteous men of the I.S.U.P.K have been standing against this evil since 1969. And if the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community would have taken heed to what the Lord was trying to tell them years ago, then we wouldn't be seeing this thing now trickle down into our oppressor trying to get the men involved with the whoredom and the prostitution of our brothers and sisters.
Right.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, it's like yes, sir. And it's crazy how they try to make it come across as if it's some type of liberation for human beings, or it's like against this oppressor that's oppressing them. When I'm talking about the LGBTQ and Lil Nas X, they're not coming up with a new philosophy or some type of civil rights. They don't want an amendment. He wants bussy in the dictionary. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, because how they cling on to the Black liberation and the civil rights movement,
right?
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and they use us. And like I seen it today, being that it's Juneteenth. I went past and walked through the Juneteenth festival here in Syracuse, and I see somebody wearing a hat with the Black Power fist once again, and the Black Power fist is now a rainbow symbol. So they trying to take what we fought for and our struggle, and I'm not saying that we did it correctly, but damn, it was like we wanted to change laws. We wanted to drink from water fountains. We wanted to have our own businesses. We didn't want you to lynch us anymore. These people want bussy put in the dictionary. Like it's like the feminist movement. The women talking about we want women's rights, and then they go downtown or they go to the major city, the center of the city, and march together, and then they just strip and they have their breasts out. It's like it shows you that there is no righteousness involved with this at all. It is just a pure demonic spirit. It's just over sexualization. It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic behind it. There's nothing behind it but a straight demon. It's like it.
Listen, you so right about that too. I'm looking up some pictures here. My roommate told me she went to the store last week, and I'm hoping I could pull up some of them for you all. And I think it was Staples or Target, brother. And they had these bins in there with like colorful trinkets for kids. You know what I mean? Like glasses with a whole ton of different colors, not even rainbow colors. Some of them had the rainbow colors, but some of them just colors. And you know, kids, they'll mess with that rainbow. They get down with that rainbow because of the colors.
Yeah.
You know, they're not sexualizing the shit. It's just this is very colorful. Right. Yeah. And brother, okay, she sent me some pictures, and I'm like, why in the hell you sending me pictures of goddamn prices? I'm like, what you selling me these prices for? These things is like, you know, $2-3. I'm like, surely you ain't telling me that, bro. I'm trying to make sense of this shit. I have with me in another world, and she's telling me a text. But brother, she said, no, look closer. I don't know if y'all could see it. Oh boy, I'd probably make this bigger. Okay, y'all see $3, right?
Sir.
Yeah. Okay, read under $3.
Asexual bin. God damn.
Asexual bin. Then hold on, there's more. Then you have, hold on. You have
gender queer.
Gender queer bin.
Yeah.
Then you have
God damn.
the pride bin. And brother, look at these things. One of these things here, I think one of them was little painting stuff. They had shades on the left-hand side here. And these is little $3, you know, toys for kids.
this is, you know, you see the color glasses up here?
Concert.
These is glasses, little sky blue with pink trim glasses. These glasses is lesbian dinner.
I'm laughing because like they giving the sexuality to the toy, to the bin. Like,
if I could, sir, it's heavy because what we've been taught in the I.S.U.P.K, you know, we were taught the truth about demonic possession and what it means to, you know, for someone to have a demon on them that needs to be casted out. We've taught the truth about the baptism of Christ that comes with the fire and the Holy Spirit, and how that is being taught the truth, and being taught the truth frees you from the lies that you've been taught that causes you to live unrighteously or to be full of lust and sin. Well, our oppressor knows that the way you cause demons to come into people is by teaching them to accept it, teaching them the knowledge of, you know, receiving or giving into your lust or submitting yourself, you understand, to what it is that your flesh wants. A young child who maybe likes the color orange or likes the color yellow doesn't know anything about being gay or lesbian or queer. They just like yellow and green. But your oppressor teaches a child that, oh, you like that yellow and green, you're asexual. Or you like that purple and that orange, well, you know, that means that you're gay. You like that green and that purple that I see down there, that means you are full of pride. You homosexual. When a child doesn't have any concept of colors relating to what they do with their private parts.
Right.
And because of the evil of Christianity, we have not been taught that the way that you fight against the world is by educating your children on, no, this is just colors.
It's a color.
Pride bin, this asexual bin, this transgender bin is the world trying to get you to put you in a box that you're not even old enough to comprehend what it even means. These kids, and if I could, just for sidebar, I remember growing up in DC, and I seen it when, you know, as I was becoming a man, and I see it now even more in the youth being here in Memphis, Tennessee. A lot of these kids, they're just kids. You got a little girl, she just like to wear some Nike shoes or like to wear some, you know, dress up. She like to be fresh. She got a big brother. She like to have her colors matching and wear a nice little hat to go with her shirt and her pants. But because she dresses that way, somebody will label her as she's a, you know, homosexual, or she's a bulldog, she likes girls. When really she's just a little girl that likes to dress fly. You got a little boy, he maybe don't have no men in his life. He like to wear, he looked on the video and see Jim Jones and Lil Wayne. He just wear little skinny jeans and little shirt. And he doesn't know that, you know, this is just a little jeans and a shirt. But somebody will say, oh man, you gay. Or some boy who's, you know, being molested at home, like him at school. And he thinks that, well, I must be gay because boys like me. Or you got to, like I said, the little girl that just likes to dress fresh. Girls like her or be her friend. They all young. They don't know nothing about no sex or what it means to be gay or lesbian. But this young girl who just likes to dress like her big brother will think that she has to be gay or she has to be lesbian because of the way that she dresses. And it comes from a lack of our people being taught that you have to actively fight against the society pushing this evil on your children.
Yeah,
you have to be active in making sure that you teach your children what the scriptures say, which is to serve the Lord. Or if you train a child in the way that they should go, when they grow older, they will not depart from it. Because we're not educating our children in what the Lord requires of them, our oppressor gets to teach them that if you like these glasses, that means you're gay. If you wear these glasses, then that means that you are bisexual. Or you wear these color socks, that means you're lesbian. And the charge, again, goes on that Christian church for failing our people and warning them.
That's it.
What it is that the Lord requires from us.
You know what it is too, Sakji and captains. It's also because when you look at it, right, it is also the fact that, you know, hold on a second. That what's going on, Hebrew?
Shalom, Yahweh, Shema Shabbat.
What's on there? He drop off. He'll come back on shortly then. But it's also soccer war. It's also not just you know, it's not just an innocent thing with the colors. It's damn near like, okay, you know, with different street gangs have colors they claim. And you may not know where you at if you're not, conscious of what's going on the street level. So you wearing red is not just you wearing red, or you wearing yellow is not just you wearing yellow. And now you could get caught in the same crossfire of something, or be mistaken. Or usually don't go that far. Somebody would ask you something, and by your answer they'll know you're not in the life or whatever. But it's damn near like this thing here that the LGBTQ doing is like a flagging. It's like you flagging, like you try, like they're trying to mark and fill their gang up. So now they're grooming them from young to follow into the gang. Like this is a pride bin. Then you have, where's the one with the lesbian socks? Brother, you mean to tell me if my child like these color socks, now they're lesbian?
That shit crazy.
Like, you get the point. Like, is that thing there that one time they would demonize us for? God. Like, red is just a color. Blue is just a color. You're fighting over colors when they're selling you a goddamn color and trying to sexualize the thing into meaning something. And this is for kids. This is kids' toys. Like, that is absolutely crazy. God. That's an absolutely crazy thing, for them to do. God.
Yeah, it's like they find black parents. They're teaching the kids well enough, so they had to now try to force it on your kids, so that now your kids gonna grow up, living in this whole non-binary, society, which is disgusting.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just male and female, brothers and sisters. Male and female.
That's it. Listen, that's it. Imagine, I'm trying to get the one where it says genderqueer. Hold on.
This is crazy.
There's one that says, oh yeah, that's it. And okay, the bin is empty. All the socks gone.
I'll cream my daughter foot and she'll wear some sandals or something.
Yeah, you gotta go back to being there for that. On the socks.
Yeah.
The hell with that. Like the bin empty, but now and they put it small, genderqueer bin. So this is their whole gradualization thing that they're doing, and it's the same thing with that sodomite, like Lil Nas X, where he had to come out with the Old Town Road first.
Yeah,
you get the point. He had to come up with the Old Town Road first and pretend like this was a racial thing. Remember when the country music awards didn't want to recognize him? They don't bring that rap crap over here. Then he had to go team up with Billy Ray Cyrus, and then he finally come out with the thing. Is that whole gradually trying to warm you up to the whole thing and gradually put the thing on the table, and that's what they're doing. Like, that's such an evil thing, brother. When I saw it, I was like, just leave the store and don't buy shit.
And if I could, sir, it was even further disgusting. Is I remember being a kid, and you might get some new clothes, get some new shoes, and you go to school and they say, "Oh man, where you get those from?" And you be like, "Oh man, this is the starter jacket, or these are new Jordans or the new Nikes." Imagine your kid go to school and they like, "Oh man, those some nice socks," and they say, "Yeah, well these are lesbian socks."
Yep.
These are genderqueer socks. These are the asexual socks. So I got the bussy socks on. Like this, that's where it's going. And you've got to know that it's on purpose. We gotta black people gotta snap out of this thing where they this is just society, or this is just the way the world is. No, there's an active plan that's being implemented by this government, that's being implemented by the people who are in charge to rob you and your family of any inclination that righteousness is a choice.
Yes.
It's gone to where God and the Most High and serving Him is being taken off the table. Either you're queer or you're agender, or you're lesbian, or you're homosexual, or maybe you're in between.
Yeah.
We got to recognize that there's the Most High on the right-hand side and everything else is on the left.
Yeah. And as Captain Mashak was saying too, with the whole color code, it's almost like they're using the colors to, to group each other. You have on purple socks, I have on purple socks. We have something in common. So now I hang with you, I link with you. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like, as it's saying, the red and blue rag. You understand? It's the same exact thing they're trying to do. Put you in a group. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Them kids wear all black, man.
All
that's
black.
that's listen, that's right. Let them kids let them wear all black and come in here. When they reach a certain age, we'll tell them the colors to wear. Since you're the colors to wear, and it's so diabolical where even on the street level, sometimes you talk to young brothers who involved in it, and they'll ask them why. And it's like, listen, I just grew up in this neighborhood, so I had to wear these colors. There's gonna come a time where they're gonna put out some study or introduce a cartoon with a lead character wearing that color combination of socks. And she's gonna be a lesbian. And then the little girl is gonna be like, I always liked these color socks. It means I was a lesbian too. And they put the ball in, they put the thing in motion from now. Like that's how they do it. They put it in motion from now when they're 4 and the 5 and the 6. And by the time you're 13, you think you in that whole emo stage, you're trying to figure out what the hell to wear, what music to listen to. But and listen, I guarantee you them socks were soft as shit. And, they have the texture that the kids like. You know what I mean? They have the texture the kids like. So now when they reach 13 and 14, I miss them socks. Those was my favorite socks. Come to find out, all lesbians like them colors. Right. But they call them lesbian socks. There's somebody told you what you would like. And it's ridiculous. You got to be extra vigilant with your children now. Like, you know, watch everything they consume. And like information is everywhere. It's, that internet needs to leave. It needs to go. Right.
If I could, sir, piggyback off what you said, if you could highlight a comment that a brother Judah One West just said. Also, I wouldn't be surprised, sir, if those color combinations was based off of what's already out there. There may be some kid superheroes or some kid cartoons that we don't even know about. That one of the cartoon characters is purple and green. The Incredible Hulk is purple and green. Maybe the whole time Incredible Hulk was the gender queer guy. You know what I mean? Goddamn Iron Man is red and yellow. Maybe the whole time Iron Man was the homosexual.
That's why when he get angry, listen, he green. Green. He green when he purple pants.
God.
So he already fighting the agenda. But Sagji, I think you're right, because they have like at the bottom of the map how they have different countries' flags. There's LGBTQ flags for different groups.
Wow.
You understand? There's flags for different groups.
Good night.
There's for the pedosexuals. There's one, oh boy, what's it called? Aromosexual? Aromantic sexual. It says somebody who just like the thought of liking somebody. Never ever get into a relationship.
If I could, sir, looking at these flags make me think of Captain Planet. I remember I was a kid, there was Captain Planet. I would not be surprised if Captain Planet, together, all these colors combined, I am Captain Pansexual. I would not be surprised, sir, if one of them flags is based off all the goddamn colors of Captain America. I mean, the goddamn Captain Planet cartoon. I mean, that's how well thought out and well planned our oppressor is. This ain't just something they came up with last night. 30 years ago, they were saying, okay, and this time we're going to come out with these colors and we're going to make them believe that this is this. So it's just, we got to be extra vigilant, sir, and making sure that as the pillars of righteousness in these times that we're living in, that we fight and push back against this thing just as bad and as hard as the oppressor is trying to push it down on us. Salaki.
Yes.
Salaki, sir. If you see the one flag that you had, it has the black and the brown strip in it. It was on the other group of flags that you showed before this one, sir. Salakia.
Okay, let me see if I find it.
If I could, so I'm looking at these flags. I don't want to know what these names even mean, just like I don't want to mention what Bussy is. I just saw something that said Bear Brotherhood. I don't want to have no clue what the hell the Bear Brotherhood is. I just want to see that flag and run. Know that flag right there means stay the hell away from me. Give me 50 feet. Back.
Salakia. The reason why I'm bringing it out, Captain Sakaward, I understand what you're saying, Salakia. The reason why I was saying that, because if you see it with the black and the brown strip, that's the inclusion of blacks and Hispanics.
Oh, that's the black. There's the black and LGBT.
You see it on the top row, the third one, the one in the center. Right. And that just infuriates me. Like when I go through the Juneteenth festival today, I not only see all the gay pride, the LGBTQ, I see Planned Parenthood there. I see every organization and institution that knows that we have a fight inside of us. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something about us that's different, where we have a fight, we have a shine, we have a talent, we have some type of gift that makes us better than everybody else. So what they do is they'll latch on to our agenda or attempt for our agenda, and then they'll just overtake it. And because we see some type of connection or relevance, we so weak and wicked and stupid. So we'll just jump to it, just like how children are, because Israel, we so destroyed, we have the mindset of children. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll look at it and then say, well, it can't be that bad. They pro-black, they gay, but they pro-black. Like like I'm telling you, I've seen it when the times have changed to where my grandfather and my grandmother did not play. Like I couldn't get when I remember when Bone Thugs came out, and then everybody started getting braids. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I remember I'm coming home like, oh, the Bone Thugs got braids. Maybe I should get braids. And because my grandparents were so strict and stern, they said, nah, that looked like a girl. You couldn't have no earrings, no nothing in my house. And then it got to a time where over time, it was like Captain Sakawar said, stay away from me. No, I don't want nothing to do with it. Then it got to a time where it's like, well, they ain't bothering nobody. Well, I can't say what they want to do in their bed. Well, how can I judge them? And well, maybe they need some type of help too. So then you start to accept it and put it, and then at the same time, they're trying to take black culture and mix it so much. And I'm not saying that it's right, but I was going to go to Toronto some years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, to go to the Caravana. And my man told me, he said, listen, you don't want to go to that. That's full of Sodom and Gomorrah now. I was like, what? Hold up. Like, you know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me Bunyan, the Benjamites, done accepted that? And it just blew my mind to see how we so readily accept everything because they try to give us like a gift. But what they're doing is they're just taking over any type of flavor that we have to promote and push their agenda. Salaki.
It's a rough one. I mean, they want bussy in the dictionary, and this is the other thing too. Like this is why they always wanna run. This is why they always want to run with the identity of black people, the face of black people. Like putting words in the dictionary was a black thing. That's when they called our language Ebonics. And they for white America or the oppressors who find great entertainment with our lives, whether it be happy or sad or depressing or horrific. And our slang, our terminology every day, the way we express ourselves in different regions, even just in America, like there's so many different accents of Judah and different ways of that Judah say something. Forget about the Caribbean islands, like every accent is different. You get the point? Even among the Latino tribes, Puerto Rican Spanish is different from Argentinian Spanish. It's different from Dominican Spanish, right? Simeon, Ephraim, and Naphtali. They all speak Spanish, but it's different. Some words in there, they don't have a word for that. Or they have a word here, it means this, but in another one, you're going to get slapped if you say that shit, but it's the same word. But just so the oppressor could navigate the earth now, you have to put Ebonics in there, like, certain things where he's saying this, that, the other. You have to explain certain things to them. Right. And now the LGBT community should damn near hijacking, quote unquote, civil rights, which is, black struggle for so many years. Now you fighting for a space in the dictionary to be defined. Like you fighting for something to be defined when this is the way we talk is something natural. Right. It's something that's, brother might say something just like, what you mean there? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, shit, what do you mean by that? Like, You know, the John, the John, something. That John is this John and that John. You know what I mean? Like you got to define that for somebody who don't understand. And now they're doing the same thing, like how they stole everything.
Right.
They stole the whole Pride Month with the Juneteenth. You know, took over the whole damn near the civil rights movement. Now civil rights is about them.
Yep.
Like you can't even call them homosexual. You got to call them gay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Homosexual is offensive. Like what? Like African American versus nigga.
Right.
Yeah.
And they want, he wants a space in the dictionary for what? Boy, what? Negro.
Salakia, sir. And if I could, even in speaking about the civil rights movement, it just highlights how our oppressor has laid the roots of this movement since the beginning. You go back and you look at that civil rights movement. The only reason why I was even allowed to be popularized and become something that was, large in the media is because the two black men that was at the head of it were homosexuals themselves, Bayard Rustin and Philip A. Randolph. Like from the very beginning, the oppressor was behind the scenes orchestrating the popularization of that civil rights movement, directing, guiding what direction it was going in with the peaceful protests and the marching and the sit-ins, all to bring us to the point where we are here 60, 70 years later. And now the homosexuals are doing the sit-ins. They're doing the march, their pride marches, the pride parades. When this is something that it was in the plans from the beginning. That civil rights movement was never about black people getting equality or being treated fairly in America. It was all about setting the precedent for later on the homosexuals to come and say, well, we want rights just like the black people wanted rights. We want to be treated with respect the same way the black people treated with respect. And what is triply evil is that the same people who were marching for rights and freedom and equality 70 years ago are still suffering today. But off the backs of 70 years of our suffering, you're going to now bring in the homosexuality and this LGBT nonsense, which our oppressor has already been doing, which has already been a part of his culture. But you're going to use us to co-opt it? Like you're going to use unsuspecting black people who have been taught, this American history, that this is an honorable way to protest and an honorable way to get things done. You're going to now wrap them up and involve them in pushing your homosexual agenda. It's disgusting and it's evil, and the Lord is going to burn this place for it. And it behooves our brothers and sisters to wake up, man, and hear the truth, hear what these brothers are bringing out, and come and serve the Lord.
That's right. And just hearing, everybody, speak on the topic, goes back to the point that, that America is creating gay people, lesbian people. They're creating it. You understand? Black people, Hispanic people, we are not born gay and we will never be born gay.
That's
you
right.
Understand what I'm saying? Your oppressor is creating it. Understand? He's creating a society where it's, it's beneficial to be gay. It's beneficial to be a lesbian. You understand? So now black people don't want to live poor. We don't want to, we don't want to suffer. So guess what? We for sure going to go down that path. Some of us will go down that path so that we could eat. You understand? And it's wrong.
Yep.
You understand? It's wrong. Your Christian church ain't going to tell you, because the Christian church, they accept it. They already took it in. And that was us beginning to accept this homosexual, this whole lesbian, because the church took it in. Your church took it in because of money.
Yep.
Solely out because of money.
That's
the
right.
Same reason why black men are homosexual, black women are lesbians, because of money.
That's right. And the Most High knew where it was going to start. That's why in Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17, it says, "There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel." Just like what Captain Mashak was bringing out when you brought out Little Nas X saying we want Bussy in there because WAP got put in there. So if the daughters of Israel can be whores and harlots and over-sexualized, what do you think is going to happen to the sons, to the men? They're going to be over-sexualized. And it's not just going to be an over-sexualization of toxic masculinity or you too masculine. It's going to be the gay agenda. And the scriptures is perfect for canceling out all the cultures that come against the Most High. That's not part of our culture. Being a sodomite, being a whore. That's not part of our culture. You know what I'm saying? We kings, we priests, we prophets, we princesses, we daughters of Zion. It's a beautiful thing to be Israel. And that's why in the scripture, it puts those two together, a whore and a sodomite. It always puts it together because the agenda is just to destroy us at every means possible. Salam.
If I could get one scripture or two, Proverbs 11:3 and Proverbs 19:1. Proverbs 11:3. You know what I mean? Like this whole thing here, even with the A$AP Rocky boy trying to defend, dressing in woman's gear. You know what I mean? Like this is a time here where you're gonna have to be absolutely extreme. I see why even in Revelation where the Lord said, Christ said, either you're hot or you're cold, but if you're lukewarm, I'll spew you out. Meaning you're gonna have to be extreme at the end. That's why that scripture is in Revelation. You're gonna have to be extreme at the end. You know what I mean? Because that we are at the end right now, and you see all manner of chaos, all manner of plotting, and like we can't really fully comprehend the plot that's against us as a people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I could get that scripture real quick.
Oh my God.
Because I have it right here if you want to know.
Proverbs chapter 11, verse 3. The integrity of the upright shall guide them.
Read it again.
The integrity of the upright shall guide them.
Go ahead.
But the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them.
Like they like to say how UPK this and UPK that, and we too hard and we do this and X, Y, Z. But the scripture says the integrity of the upright shall guide them. The integrity of the upright. And the integrity means to keep whole and to keep it complete, to keep it as is. And that's what the UPK has always been and will always be. And that's why, here's the home of the truth and where you're going to get your guidance and your leadership from.
Right.
But read the second line.
God. Verse 3. But the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them.
But the perverseness of the transgressors,
what the hell?
That will destroy us. And that's what we see in here with the LGBTQ agenda when it comes to the Black, Hispanic, and Indian community. Like the perverseness of them, that's what's going to destroy us. Like this man have on a full-out dresser.
That's why I'm watching it. What the hell is this?
That's a full-out dress. You know what I mean? And he'll defend it. And Lil Nas will get on, and make the most homosexual video. And, everybody will just be so inviting on the LGBTQ agenda. You understand? If you want to go ahead and be a homosexual, but you ain't got to force that on me. You know what I mean? You don't got to force my children to learn that situation. You don't got to put that in the cartoons for everybody. But now you see how the Lord say he will make a man as precious as fine gold. That's right. Because the integrity is going to guide them. That full integrity. Give me Proverbs 19:1 real quick. Ash, you could come on back in. I'm gonna let you go ahead. Give me Proverbs 19:1 real quick. You know what I mean? Like of course, as Nathak was just bringing out, and the generals brought it out on the radio shows before, that there's gonna come a time where just to survive, you're gonna have to take the gay covering. You're gonna damn near have to put a veil over your head. You're gonna have to pretend to be there, or you're just gonna have to accept it just to survive. You're gonna have to accept it just to get your record selling and to make some money. But this is what the Bible says. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 1. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity.
Better it is to be poor and to walk in your integrity, man. It's better to be poor and walk in your integrity. Go ahead.
Than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool.
And then he that's perverse in his lips and be a fool. And that's what you see here with A$AP Rocky, absolutely perverse with his lips. Wasn't he the one who blamed, who was it? Was it Michael Brown? One of them, he said he didn't care about. Remember before he got in trouble in Sweden or Norway? He had said something about, it was basically the brothers. Forget exactly. You get the point? Same thing with Lil Nas X, perverse in his lips. Dwayne Wade is perverse in his lips.
Right.
I mean, you know, all of them who do jumping on this agenda, they're perverse in their lips. But brother, it is better to be poor and not part of this rainbow. Right? You know what I mean? If I could, let me just bring up Captain Ashton. He gonna just definitely plug the lecture coming up in Chicago. So like, Captain Ashton.
You're mute.
Hey, Tuwada, Captain, for allow me to plug this July 21st to the 24th. We have the fire weekend, Black and Brown Unite, united. The 22nd, which is on Friday, from 6 to 9:30, we'll have the before Columbus came lecture. Myself, Captain Kataza and Officer Kazak Yad. What we're going to be doing is bringing out what we were doing before Columbus came, and what all the way to what led to the days of when Columbus came. Look forward to what I'm saying. We're going to be bringing out how us as indigenous people in the Caribbean and in Mexico, what we were doing, who we were serving, our lifestyles and all that, to the point of when Columbus came. And then I definitely will talk a little bit about after Columbus came. In addition to that, on the 24th, we'll have the fire weekend, saying where brothers, black and brown, come together, hosted by Captain Malquad in the Chicago school. Command GEN.YAHANNA on the 22nd also will be at what they call the Magnificent Mile, rocking it out there. John Muhammad also will be teaching on that. I want to say on that Thursday. So look forward to that as well. I just wanted to plug that. I also want to throw it down in Spanish. Desde el 21 hasta el 24 de julio en Chicago, ¿verdad? En el Parque Douglas, vamos a estar ahí. El general Mahamman va a enseñar clases para el 21 y para el 22 el comandante general Yahanna va a estar en la milla I forgot to say, but the Magnificent Mile. Él va a estar ahí encendiendo a Chicago, enseñando a nuestra gente. Aparte de eso, 22 de julio, nuestra charla, soy yo, el capitán I.S.U.P.K, el capitán Kataza, el oficial Kazak Yar. Vamos a estar hablando sobre qué es lo que la gente del Caribe y México, antes de Colón, cómo nosotros vivíamos, cuáles eran nuestros dioses que servíamos y todo eso, las mañas que nosotros teníamos. Así que si pueden llegar, llegan, que va a ser un evento educativo. Y aparte de eso, el 24 de julio también vamos a estar ahí, morenos, latinos, unidos como familia. Va a haber música, va a haber comida, va a haber bebida. So deben llegar ahí, el Parque Douglas. I forgot to mention in English, is in the location is in this is on 24th Douglas Park, so black and brown people can come down there and come together, as in brotherhood, because that doesn't really exist in Chicago, which is ill. But we're gonna get together that weekend, black and brown people, and be in brotherhood, in that spirit of brotherhood, and I just wanted to plug that real quick. If also I could say one thing about the subject matter, Captain. And I just wanted to plug that real quick. If also I could say one thing about. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Ash.
I just wanted to say, as a part of a news article that I saw today, I don't know if you got to see it, but the actor that played the Flash in the Justice League movie, Ezra Miller.
Okay, I don't know who it is, but is he the one? Is he the one who kidnapped the girl?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
I think we had that in here. I think that's one of the stories tonight.
Oh, okay.
I think he kidnapped some girl and been grooming her since she's 12 years old.
Yeah. I just jumped the gun. But
in fact, we could go to it now that you bring it out, Ash. If you mind pulling that story.
The thing is that I'm in here, but I sound choppy. I can hear myself, and I know it's the signal bad out here. But I'll listen in. But I just want to say one quick comment on that, if I may. That's the problem with this society and being part of this society and plugging into this society. That this is where we're at right now. We're at a stage where if Christ don't come back soon, our brothers and sisters are going to be wholeheartedly on the rainbow list. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ridiculous. That rainbow flag. I remember when it was just only the rainbow colors, but now it got that triangle, right? And that triangle got black, brown, and then they got pink and blue and yellow, right? And that portion of the pink, blue, and yellow is the pedophiles flag. And that's the next step. That's going to be part of the whole mess. In addition to that, I don't know if you don't know, but there are 4 states where legally you can have sex with animals. It's legal. You know what I'm saying? In this society, and I'm just bringing that out to show our brothers and sisters out there the type of wickedness that's allowed and pushed in this society. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a lawless society. If Christ don't come back, we're gonna be definitely like the scriptures say. I'm paraphrasing, but man is gonna be like precious gold. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one beautiful thing about being an Israelite school, universal practical knowledge. You won't find men in the Christian church, and you won't find them in prison, and you won't find them on the street. But men, real men, you find them in the Israelite school, universal practical knowledge under commanding GEN.YAHANNA, because it's the only place where men get built. Men, if sisters understand this, and brothers and young brothers and sisters in the Israelite school, universal practical knowledge, is the only place on the planet in this modern time where men are actually here. You know what I'm saying? And we are here to teach our brothers and sisters that this society is not for us. We need to turn straight back to the Lord, because or else we're gonna be extinct. You know what I'm saying? Had it not been for this school. That's all I wanted to say, Captain.
No sweat. Listen to Water too.
All right.
To Water, definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Y'all go check out Captain Nash doing that powerful lecture with two other historical wizards down there.
That's right.
And Kazakh Yard. They're gonna be up there in Chicago.
If I may, Captain.
Yeah, please.
If I may, Captain, just one more thing I forgot to mention. Right when I was up there on the 12th, when we went to that Puerto Rican Day event, it was crazy because now the trannies were out there heavy. You know what I'm saying? It's like you would see the people, okay, go, you know, as we say, gozando, you know, enjoying themselves, and then they were out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, goddamn, you know, the kids got to see these things too. You know what I'm saying? And like it's ridiculous. I'm kind of glad I didn't take my daughter for that. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's
glad
rough.
that you have to see that.
You're right, Doc. It's rough right now to have to explain certain things to children. It's absolutely rough. I done went through it. I had to go to one of my daughter's school, and I'm telling her she you know, the PE teacher wanted to speak to me about something, and I telling my daughter, okay, go tell her I'm coming, and she's like, no, that's a boy. And brother, you know, my heart dropped right there. I had to explain to her that that's a woman. That's that's not a man. Right. PE teachers always go by a letter. Coach T, Coach Q, V something, V runner. So there's, as far as the child concerned, there's nothing to identify like Jane or Jack. Right. And I had to tell her, no, that's a woman. It's just her head is shaved low and she dressed like a boy. But that's a woman. And
that's scary, man.
I saw the look on his face like, what are you talking about? That's a boy. That's what she said. That's a boy. You know what I mean? It's rough to have to explain these things to kids. Right. But that's the world we live in. And it's extremely unfortunate. You know what I mean? It's extremely unfortunate, like you say now. You know what I mean? No sweat, Cap.
So, like, if you don't mind, can I get one scripture? Ephesians 6 and 12.
Which one, sir?
Ephesians 6 and 12.
Oh, God.
That will set everything in place and what we're talking about tonight, basically. You know what I mean? Because this is, this is hell. This is straight hell on earth for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. I mean, you have to, you know what I mean, describe what a man is or what a woman is to a child. It's hell. You know what I mean? It's abomination.
Right.
When you get, you can read it.
Come on, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against,
go ahead.
But against principalities.
But against what?
But against principalities.
Against this homosexual life, this gay lifestyle.
Against principalities.
You understand? Like we are fighting against America, this whole American lifestyle. Read on.
Against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
You understand? Like we're fighting against, you know what I mean, principalities, these things that they're trying to push on us, democracy, this whole abortion. They're trying to push everything on black people, you know what I mean, to dwindle us even more. We what, 13% of the population? But you're pushing abortion on us. You're pushing homosexuality on us. So what's going to happen to the future? Where the kids going to come from? If you push all our homosexuality on blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians. All right, read on.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
In high places, your Christian church. You understand? To a president that you vote in, that signed over 300 bills for these gays and lesbians, for the LGBT group.
Mm-hmm.
Like what time are we living in? We're living in the end times, brothers and sisters, and it's high time we wake up and recognize that the Christian church don't give a damn about you. Your Democrats or your Republicans don't give a damn about you. You understand? The I.S.U.P.K, we give a damn about you, and we telling you the truth. You understand? According to the Bible. It's just male and female the Lord created in the Bible. You understand?
If I could, sir, just one more thing on this topic. Captain I.S.U.P.K said, you know, what time are we living in? And when you get to understanding the scriptures and you understand the Bible, you know, you read in the book of Genesis, you read about the bondage. Reading the book of Genesis, and you read about Sodom and Gomorrah, and you read about these people in this place where the angels came to visit Lot, and they were banging on the door wanting to see the angels, and Lot offered his daughters, like, listen, don't do this to these brothers, man. Take my daughters. And I can remember reading that and wondering, like, what kind of people would rather fight to get these men rather than taking this brother's daughters? And these are the people. You know what I'm saying? You read in the book of Exodus and you read about the hard bondage and the rigor that the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve and to suffer in an attempt to cause us to not continue to produce and to procreate, and how the Bible said that with all of the hard bondage and the oppression that the Egyptians put on the children of Israel, we continue to multiply. Well, if you wanted to know what that looks like, it's America in 2022. Yeah. You want to know what kind of place would reject a man offering his daughters? It's America, because they don't want your daughters. They want the LGBTQP. You understand? Mm-hmm. You want to know what kind of bondage would cause a people to stop multiplying and cause a people's numbers to dwindle? Well, it's your abortion. It's your hormones to cause boys to not go through puberty, or to cause a girl, to not develop breasts and to stop having a period. Like, we are living in the place that we read about in the Bible. Yeah. You read about all the horrible, tragic things that took place in the history of mankind. All of it is happening right now here in America. And it is why the only solution that we have is to turn back to the Most High and to fall on our knees and beg, you understand, for forgiveness for the evil that we've done, and our lives serving Him going forward.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're so right. I don't know if you want to get a couple more before we go to 1776, because that's for sure going. That's a 45-minute autopsy right there. That's I ain't gonna be a quick one. We gotta get the time of death. We gotta get the next of kin. You know what I mean? We gotta get all the worldly possessions. We gotta open that bitch all the way up, brother. Because them devils, I realize like how all the scriptures say, unless the man of perdition be revealed, Like the way they talked about that thing, all the pundits, all this. I see why they say peaceful protest so much.
Right.
Because they had to sway that thing all the way to the other side. Because what that was, brother, that's, firing squad, type judgment.
Right.
You know what I mean? In any kingdom, anyway.
Right.
That is straight firing squad judgment.
Right.
Not talking muted.
And to I'm taking you off topic, but it's this whole politics, you know what I mean, with these Caucasians against Caucasian. It's nice to sit down and watch them fight each other. You understand?
Right.
And recognize blacks and Hispanics that they, you know what I mean, they're fighting to see who's going to be in rulership over you. You understand? Good to sit back and watch them. You know what I mean? But pay attention, because this whole thing with I don't know if you remember Biden and Hunter and his son.
Yeah.
Now it's coming out that his Biden Hunter's ex-wife is the one that squealed, and she's going to the investigators and she's talking. She is, you know what I mean, running her, you know what I mean, really laying it out to them what he did. You understand? So now in this season where they're going to really throw blows at each other. But at January 6th, just to bring it back to the January 6th, it's to show you how they try to sweep their how to put their shame under the carpet. You understand? It's shameful to see how they acting, because they call us uncivilized. They call us, you know what I mean, like tell us we animals by the way we act when we are discriminated against, when things happen to us and we go there and riot. You understand? They call us animals, but not them. It was a protest, though. It was a peaceful protest, right?
If I could, sir, so like it, sir. I was gonna say, as we go to get into the story, if we could just get Nahum 3 and 5 before we get into it, you know what I mean? Because everything that we see taking place right now is the prophecy that the Lord set forth against this place being fulfilled, in terms of us being able to see behind the scenes and really uncover that this place is not the upright, honorable, democratic, you get out there and vote and have an ability to change the course of the nation lie that we've been told. Like this, like I'm gonna wait till we get into the story, but if we could just get Nahum 3 and 5, so like it, sir.
Come on. Nahum chapter 3, verse 5. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
If I could, you know what I mean, America for a long time has been presented themselves to be a lady in a long dress where you can't see up under her dress and can't see any of her skin showing. But now we're in the days where, you know, the Marilyn Monroe, the wind is blowing and that skirt is flying up over her head and everybody can see the nasty, horrible, filthy thing that's up under there. You understand? And as we continue to go forward, the Most High is going to continue to expose the hypocrisy and the lies and the fallacy that we've been sold that America is. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than the gangsters. Every America has tried to portray themselves to be some glowing example of what's right in the world, while they try to demonize all the other nations' forms of government and how they conduct themselves. And the earth is being shown right now that America is the grimiest and the most disgusting and filthy of all the places on the earth. So, look.
Yep. So right. I mean, I look at the time, we could get into it now, and if we have some resume, we can jump on the other ones. You know, there's some good other stories. We could Kamala and her collard greens. Yeah, I mean, trying to placate to black people, trying to. What they said is when Hillary Clinton did the thing with the hot sauce.
Hot sauce in her bag, sweat.
Yeah, but there's a word they use for it. The word is pandering. Pandering to black folk. And she said when she was on the plane with the collard greens, because for sure you can't get collard greens nowhere. I thought that shit was wild. She acted like that shit was like that slave food, woman. Like that shit grows down there everywhere. You can't get no cut. She said, I went on the plane and some people looked at me and some people gave me the nod. And that's what she wanted. And that's what she wanted. You know what I mean? So I think we could get into that 1776, brother. You know what I mean? And we could round out the stories in the end. You know what I mean? If you don't mind. Unless you all wanted to do one before, y'all tell me.
No, you go ahead, because I waiting to see a black protest that was that organized.
Yikes, boy. Brother, the amount of premeditation went into this goddamn thing.
Man.
Like, this was not a flash mob like what they're trying to make it out to be. They're trying to make this thing out to be like it was a bunch of, Facebook busybodies just, flashing people and saying, meet here, and we're gonna storm the Capitol. They're trying to make it out to be that. This was the Hunt for Red October.
Yeah.
This was Hunt for Red October. Yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous. If you got the
Read 1776 returns, a 9-page extremist plot to take over the Supreme Court, CNN, and 6 other DC buildings.
A 9-page extremist plot to take over what? The DC courts?
To take over the Supreme Court, CNN, and 6 other DC buildings.
This was a coup. This was a coup, brother. And that's how they do it. They take over the court system, the government head center, so that's why they stormed the Capitol, and then they take over the biggest media outlet there is. That's like right or wrong. Isn't that what the Muslims did in Trinidad in 1990?
You're right. They almost exact same plan.
Brother, they firebombed the police station, took over the news station, and then stormed the
Parliament.
That's the Parliament, which would be the capital for the Caribbean islands, and went in there, brother, and occupied 7 days or 9 days. These devils didn't execute the plan. But as I'm reading through the damn thing, I'm like, this was a coup. This was a total insurrection, an overthrow. This is what ISIS did in Syria.
Right. Yeah.
Like, if you really want to get down to it, this is what the Islamic State did to Syria and was trying to go to Libya. That's what they did. Right. Please, if there's any more, y'all could jump into it as y'all see fit, please.
A Proud Boys defense lawyer has released the full text of 1776 returns, a 9-page extremist proto-plot for the January 6th riot, in which the Supreme Court, CNN, and congressional offices were originally targeted for occupation instead of the Capitol itself. It's unclear who wrote the chaotic pro-right fever dream, and the stated goal was to fill the buildings with patriots and communicate our demands, including that a do-over presidential election be conducted using paper ballots only. But federal prosecutors have alleged that then Proud Boys leader Enrique Terrio had it in his possession in late December of 2021. Ultimately, Proud Boys leadership decided the plan was too impractical, federal prosecutors alleged, and the target was narrowed down to the storming of a single building, the Capitol. The 8 DC buildings originally targeted for occupation by a Patriots army were the Supreme Court, CNN, at least egg doorway, the plan says, along with 6 buildings housing congressional offices. Those were the Russell, Dirksen, and Hart Senate office buildings.
Hold on. So wait, all last year when he on the show talking to Commander GEN.YAHANNA, this nigga had a plan. He had the plan to overthrow the country. And acting like he's so peaceful. And it's, goddamn.
Yeah.
He's a terrorist.
If I could, sir.
And so, go ahead.
No, you got a Cap. Go ahead, Cap. Go ahead.
No, Slaki, what I was going to say is it looked like he was trying to get us in so he could try to plan on us. That nigga was gonna use me as a scapegoat.
we was on page 10 of the interview. After the interview, they dropped page 10. Like, wow, them niggas ain't coming. Them niggas is they're not. They gonna kill on us halfway through and help. God damn.
So like, sir, if I could, last week when we talked about this topic, I related this incident to the burning, to the storming of the Bastille, right? Yep. So for those of you who are students in history, that's what it was an incident that occurred during the time of the British Revolution, right? When they stormed the Bastille. No, I believe the storming of the Bastille was in France during the French Revolution, when they were getting Louis the 16th kicked out of power. Like, the people rose up, they wanted to get this ruler out of power. They stormed the king's castle, brought him out, and everybody that was on his side, and they put him in the guillotine, chopped their heads off. You read about the history of Germany before Hitler rose to power. Hitler's rise to power was preceded by the burning of the Reichstag, which was the parliament building in Germany in 1933. You understand? The burning of the Reichstag was then blamed on the Jewish people, and that's how Hitler said, man, we got to get these Jews up out of here, and him and the Nazi power rose the party. You read about the takeover of Stalin, Joseph Stalin in Russia during the time when he took over and came to power and killed all his opposition. And then you read about the Mao Zedong rising to power in the Republic of China before it became communist. This is what they were attempting to do. Like, this was their storming of the Bastille. This was their burning of the Reichstag. This was their opportunity to make America great again. You know what I'm saying? And for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, as we watch this play out, we have got to see that, if I could, Salaki, in all those other incidents that I named in history, there was a lot of death and a lot of, solidifying of the movement that occurred with those incidents. By them failing here, the reason why you're not seeing them getting hung and you're not seeing them being hit with the death penalty is because the government of America knows that this is not over with. These people have not gone away. Yes, they may have rounded up some key leaders who they want to pinpoint, the movement on, but they know that if they were to execute these guys or to, do to them what historically happens to traitors and treasonous individuals, then they're going to see the full-out explosion of this movement that is sort of lying dormant right now. But we'll see what happens at what's going on with Biden and his son comes out in the light, and what happens when Trump takes another run at the presidency in a couple of years.
Yeah. Yep. You're so right. You're so right. Hey, Shalom, General Q. You have a
Yeah. As you're saying to Slack, you have to. I think there's more. How to put it? Like, there's more to it than what we're seeing. Like, we just seen the surface. But I think there's like millionaires, billionaires behind this plot that ain't, that they ain't really, coming out and saying. It's almost like, you caught a few brothers or whoever selling drugs. You want him to squeal, basically talk, rat out whoever is at the top. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. It's deeper than that. That's why, they're trying, not to take it, how to put it, as serious to the point where as to go execute them, as you say. Because if they go execute them, now it's going to be some problems on the hand. And this is a real delicate situation they're dealing with right now. You know what I mean?
They're trying to avoid it.
Yeah, they're trying to play down, like, like they have it under control, but they don't have it under control. No. Nothing under control.
Nah, they ain't. Is there any more on that? An article? Yeah. General Q saying somebody got away with it all the way in the National Guard and Pentagon, who didn't show up for hours. Like that, like it make more sense for real now, like how much of the DC, security, even the Capitol Police was kind of slow. Certain people wasn't there, certain chiefs and supervisors wasn't on duty that day. It make more sense. And once again, living through a coup, when you hear how much politicians and army men and police was not there on the day of the coup, like it it's falling into play. It's falling into place now. How this thing went, and this thing was far from a protest. It was far from any peaceful protest, any peaceful show of anything. You know what I mean?
If I could, sir, this was not a grassroots movement. This was not something that started at the community level.
No.
This wasn't just some angry white guys who drank beer and bowl on the weekend saying, you know what, we should do something. No, this came from Trump and higher on down. Like this entire thing, it's started at the top and it worked its way on down until they found them a little fall guy and found some people that they could blame this thing on. And they better keep it there, because if it goes any, Salaki, I don't mean to be quoting movies, but there's the movie, the show The Wire. They say if you follow the money, you may not like where it leads you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of them incidents where if you follow the money, you follow the trail that leads to who really had the power and the ability to pull something like this off. Who has the authority to call off the National Guard and to cause the Pentagon to stand down? Who has the authority to tell the United States Capitol Police, if you from the DC area like a lot of us are, you know how pressed them folks is down there. You can't even sniff the goddamn Capitol without being looked at funny. You mean to tell me 50,000 or how many thousand devils gathered with guns and with whatever they had on the Capitol lawn and nothing happened? Nah, man, this was something that was Donald Trump issued a call in the Situation Room and said, all right, y'all, it's going down today. You better do your thing, handle your business. And when they got out there and went to do what they was going to do, it all fell apart, man.
So, well, listen, Saki, it don't even have to be, necessarily somebody in authority calling the shot. Remember, 1776, that's like a dog whistle in this time. It's a dog whistle code for the so-called oppressor. It's representative of their so-called independence and what was happening. But despite what they tell you about their independence, you can't talk about 1776 without talking about race and slavery. From John Adams all the way to Jefferson, however you look at it, like the slaves and slavery had a lot to play in it, and racism. And with racism there, you don't need too much of the authority to call somebody out of their post. Now this is seen by many as like a duty for my people, for my country, that type of thing. It's one of those extreme idealist. Just think like how they would describe ISIS, how they was describing Taliban. These are extremists. These have different social ideologies. They have different ways of doing this thing. And when you scan through, if there's more in the article, I pulled up the damn 9-page thing, brother.
Mashak, that was a U.S. general, right?
Brother, that was a whole play. That was a pass interference, hot 1, hot 2, blitz here, fake the ball, go this way. But son, the referee didn't play his part. Pence didn't leave. Pence was supposed to allow the foul. He threw the damn flag, bro. He didn't play his part. But the whole thing was so calculated and coordinated. It was really driven by racist ideals. Right. You know what I mean? As Ash is saying, patriotic duty, like which trumps any kind of authority in terms of somebody high up giving an order. Right. This thing here, even though that's somebody high up is putting things in place, but this thing here has been like a mantra, been drummed into the country from the time Trump was running for election. Yep.
Yes.
From the time, even when they started attacking Obama with the birth certificate. Yep. It started from there, just drumming them up, drumming and different optic things they would put out with remember at the time that snake came back. Don't tread on me came back real strong, and my ideals and my rights. So this was in the making for a minute. So it's done in the air. When Trump won, everybody was like, so much of you oppressors pretending to be, so-called non-racist, but you all did vote for him. Which means underneath, behind closed doors, they're discussing certain things. The Charleston, South Carolina situation with the tiki torches and the Dodge car that ran through everybody. Then they came up to DC. So there've been different times, even when they were storming the Capitol in Minnesota. Michigan. The other one with the Bundys, with the ranch, with the FBI thing. Like, it's been drummed for a second. It's been drummed in, beating a drum. And he just heard everybody together. Damn near like them zombies in the movie. That's heard. You make a little noise over here, and bring the zombies this way, and you bring. And before long, all the zombies in the Capitol law now. With a that's really what's been happening here, because it's echoing that, you know, we need to fight because these slaves could revolt. They could use it. The enemies could use, and that was the whole thing in 1776.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you get something more on the article, please.
It says covert sleepers were covert sleepers were to set up a fake appointment inside the buildings prior to the January 6th occupation so that they could be in position to let people inside. The plan says each building would have an assigned hype man who leads chants, must maintain energy / presence. The plan says no Trump, no America was one recommended chant. Each building would need a minimum of 50 occupiers or it's a no-go for that building. The plan says Patriots would be recruited from among the January 6th rally participants. Use COVID to your advantage. The plan instructs, pack huge face masks and face shields. Protect your identity. Make sure everyone has food and water to last a day in their backpacks. If Patriots were denied entry into buildings.
So after a day and a half, what was the plan? Go ahead.
Oh God. If Patriots were denied entry into buildings, law enforcement could be distracted by pulling other fire alarms around the city. The plan says this is only to be done at the right time, and if they got it redacted, makes the call. It's not clear who redacted the name of the plan's apparent leader. Target specific senators' offices, the plan says, without either elaboration or an apostrophe. The plan also muses, see if you can get anyone with a semi to help you block traffic. Now is the time to reach out to truckers or bikers for Trump for these roadblocks. The plan closes with a section titled Special Mention. Mitch McConnell, Kevin McCarthy, Mike Pence, and Bill Gates. We the people are watching you, it reads. And it concludes with a shout out to the GOP senator from Kentucky and Florida's Republican governor, Rand Paul and Ron DeSantis. We the people love you.
All right. Well, who the love?
It's like it. Rand Paul and Ron DeSantis, sir.
Okay.
DeSantis is the easy one from Florida, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, DeSantis is the one from Florida.
That'll get him in Guantanamo Bay, man. Put them Caucasians in Guantanamo Bay. Yeah. Get them somebody treatment, them Arabs was good.
Right. And release a whole redacted statement, 10 years later about all the waterboarding that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because hold on, what page you was reading on it?
That it was this was the end of the article.
Okay, if I could, Akia, Salakia, I went through this whole thing. You read page 4. Okay, page 4 is
as a brother in the chat saying, you can imagine black men having a plan like that.
Oh my Lord! Everybody's family would have went down for feeding those black men.
I'm telling you.
Your rib would have went to jail for making your breakfast that morning. She fed. You remember them old school thing? You're a nigga lover.
Yeah.
Yeah. You terrorist lover. You fed them.
Right.
There's a saying: justice delayed is justice denied. And you can see with them not taking it as serious as they should, they prolonging it to where they want people to forget about it or not really be focused on it. It seems like we the only ones that really be talking about it and going in. Captain Mashak, you calling up the pages. You know the section on the page. You're a law student with this, man. I'm about to hire you, man.
It's a lot here, brother. When I heard a 9-page something, I was like, I need to read what they're talking about here, because okay, it's down there like a pattern with these oppressors.
Yeah.
When they go to commit a crime, they write down what they're going to do, which is different from a brother.
Yeah.
A brother usually is the heat of the moment. You know, he might sit down and stalk you for a second, maybe. But it's usually a heat of the moment. But Peyton Gendron had a manifesto. You know, Dylan Storm Roof had a manifesto. The Joker had a manifesto. Like, goddamn, they have a whole plan on how to overthrow the United States government on 3 floors, the Supreme Court, the Capitol, and the media. So they're going to dictate what comes out, what the media puts out. They're going to hold the judges, you know, ransom, you know, go into the Capitol building and talk. Listen, they said here, this is page 4.
Page 4.
Right, I ain't sure, but you pull it up right there. That sky blue highlighted part. Right there.
Part 5. Sit in. We have the ability to go into office, target specific senators' offices.
Listen, they said that was part of the plan. To go into the office and target specific senators. Brother, even just the fact that this thing exists means somebody had to go to jail for life. That's treason.
High crime.
That's high crime. That's high stakes crime, man. That's, you know, go and, you know, sniff all the coke the night before, eat the last chicken burger that morning, because, you know, win or lose, your life is over after this shit. You know, but even if you pull it off, your life will not be the same after.
I was just gonna say, sir, this is catching Benedict Arnold before he, you know, did whatever he did to get the British, you know, trade in America. Like, that's what this that level. It's just,
it's,
you know,
what I mean, it's mass. It's en masse. It's en masse. Benedict Arnold probably didn't have, you know, 20% of these people with it. You know what I mean? But this was en masse. Like I was saying, they wanted AOC. You remember that Cortez girl?
Yeah.
Right? They wanted her. What was the other thing to say? What's the ending point for this? Does everyone just leave a certain time? Who does the government respond to? Which is okay, just so you understand, this is like they're making their whole protocols or plans. And that second part is whoever they present it to is asking the questions for this stage.
Like, if I may say, so like I said, just from being an Esau military and doing intel, this is what they call Esau's military, called your bluff, your bottom line up front. And whatever you had to give briefings on specific target packets and different plans you had to implement, you want to implement. This part right here is that what you would call your bluff, meaning you have to say up front what this is asking. And then, like, this whole thing looks like a military SOP, a military standard operating procedure. That's what they like you said. Captain Sackaway just said, this is not a grassroots movement. This is from high up, and with people with power and people that are well connected. And this is, I mean, damn, like, good night.
Listen, they're inviting into the cookout and vetting you. Are you racist enough?
Right.
You know, they come by the grill. How much do you love your country, Kenny? Kenny looking like, what kind of question is that? You see me in the 4th of July pants. Right. I'm in the 4th of July pants. What do you mean, how much do I love my country? Right. No. How much do you really love your country? Salakia. Go ahead, Salakia.
Salakia, if I could, this is why Vladimir Putin is not worried about that war in Ukraine.
Right.
He's not worried at all. Because wherever there's a traitor, there's always room. There's always a Trojan horse for them to infiltrate the government, which they already have.
Right.
You know, everyone knows that those lobbyists on K Street in DC, they represent they got money from every foreign country on this earth down there lobbying for different things for that country.
Right.
The Chinese, they didn't bought their politicians. This house is full of traitors. So they already know, which is and who knows they got something to do with this gas prices going up too. But Russia got a way. They got a way of retaliating and being involved, which is why they have to make this whole dog and pony show about these trials. But for sure, if they don't put this thing down, but rest assured, it's a gap for all of America's enemies to use this against America. You know what I'm saying? They call it a constitutional crisis when they was worried about Pence not certifying the election. They said if he didn't certify their election, it would have caused a revolution in this country.
Yep.
And it would have gave them call for the military to side with Trump at the same time by default, like Officer Ma was just saying. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is exactly where this thing is going. You understand?
And as Meshach was saying too, with Mike Pence, I think Pence is the one that pulled the plug on everything. He is the one that just threw the wrench in the whole plan.
Yeah.
Like if he had followed through, you know what I mean, it would have been a different talk we're talking here right now.
Yeah, it would have been over for him.
Yeah.
This is a good movie, man. This is a good movie, man. They put Pence on the inside. He ain't do what he was supposed to do. I just can't wait till Trump have him on the rooftop like my brother's keeper. Like throw his body off the Capitol building. Yo, I'm just waiting for that to happen. This is a great movie, man. Like you said, Captain Naya thought you know how wonderful this must be for us as priests and prophets to watch these Edomites go at it the way they going at it. Right. This is a beautiful thing, man. And I just be telling brothers, yo, stop getting involved with this politics, man. Sit back and watch and enjoy them beating each other ass. Like, this is phenomenal. It's like,
and blaming each other.
Right. Watch Pulp Fact, not Pulp Fiction. Yeah.
Straight up. Yeah, man. I'm blaming each other over the economy. You know what I mean? So Biden blaming Putin, you know what I mean, for the economy. And the Republican blaming Biden for the economy. You know what I mean? It's you know what I mean? It's the time we're living in right now where you could just, as it says, just sit back, you know what I mean, and just watch them go at it. In the meantime, you know what I mean? I don't know, get a bike or something, because that gas price keeps going up.
So like, and if I could, sir, there has to be an acknowledgement of, not an acknowledgement, but you know, these Edomites. It's been years since, you know, the average Edomite has been able to say that he was a part of something great. Like World War II was the last great American thing. You know what I mean? My grandfather stormed the beaches of Normandy, and he fought in the Pacific. You know what I'm saying? This generation of devils nowadays is watching niggas shooting, you know, playing basketball and running on the football and dominating all the sports and dancing and singing and all the award shows. Like the average devil he doesn't have a feeling of being a part of anything great. So when they said we're going to take back America, we're going to storm the Capitol, we're going to go in there and we're going to get out the like they was gun-ho for this thing here. And they're still searching for that bit of glory. Some of them get to exercise it as being a police officer and pulling niggas over every day and, you know, killing a Michael Brown or killing the Eric Gardner. You know what I'm saying? Some of them get to do it by exercising their right as a judge, sit on the, you know, court bench and sentence black and Hispanics to, you know, their life over petty crimes. But the average devil doesn't really have any sense of power and belonging in this place. And it is going to be this movement here that is going to allow them the opportunity to capture some greatness for themselves. Mike Pence backed out because, I can't say why he backed out, but Mike Pence backed out and he robbed all them devils of their moment of glory. And they not going to stand for it. So
as in Trump was, he lacked courage. He was a wimp.
Listen, it's okay. And that's like what you said that was so heavy too, where the stories of storming in Normandy and you know all you know them was glory. You know, you pull out some old rusty 45. My grandpappy used this to win the Second World War. He killed Nazis. Right. And them weak Frenchies couldn't do anything. Right. My grandpappy stepped up. Right. start crying over a Budweiser. Like this was their chance to, as you saying, they love reliving that old thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they hold on to it, which is, once again, on the left side, this is they're free. They're free. They're free in their country to revolt. Meanwhile, they have a whole mental terminology for black people who was running away from the plantation, who wanted to revolt. They have a whole mental term for it. I forget something phobia, some dystropania or dystrotomia, some kind of phobia for dracotomania or something like that. Where they say it's a sickness these slaves keep revolting, but now they just exercising their freedoms, right? And that's really what it is. And they line it up with the atmosphere that happened in 1776. It's an atmosphere. If I could get some more on that PDF board, listen now, page 5, that first one, it says protect your identity, use COVID compliance in your honor. Now, Akim, in your favor, Salakia, you go into a store, you had to remove the mask, COVID or no COVID. Just today, we had some oppressor standing up in front of the camp for hours with a mask, glasses on, and the hat down low. He don't want to say where he from, whole face covered. But that's, once again, this is what they're into. Right. Like, there's some criminals, brother.
So
go ahead.
If you look, and this is one of their cowardice moves, like they always done. If you look at the Boston Tea Party, when they overthrew the British tea in Boston,
right?
They dressed up as Indians.
That's right.
They dressed up their identity. And Lord knows how many of our Gadite brothers were killed because of false identity. They didn't do it as white men. They did it as Indians,
right?
To attack the British. You understand?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that's all. Which is why the Bible says the man of sin must be revealed, because that's how a snake operates.
Yeah.
You understand? They have to conceal their identity because they're not really proud the way they say they are.
Yeah.
You understand? They have to, and there were millionaires that was involved. They had a couple of them down here that they outed down south. They made money or got money from their grandfathers in prospective industries down south. They were millionaires that went up there. You understand? They found out. So somebody's squealing, but for sure, this is revolution is a touchy term in America because it's relative. When they got free from the British, their revolution, when they got quote unquote free from the British, our shackles got tighter.
Right.
Here in America and in the Caribbean, with all the rum and molasses and things that we produce, indigo, cotton, rice, etc. That is what they always done. And like I said, when I hear conceal identity, we all know they're white. But concealing identity because you're tradesmen, you have professional lives, you have things you want to go back to in case this thing does not work out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You want to still have a life, and your white privilege allows you to that. It gives you access to that.
Yep.
I yield, Captain.
Yep. And listen, you so right with that whole thing when they was rebelling against the British, because once again, that was part of that whole 1776 atmosphere, right? Leading up to it. You get the point? It was leading up to it where, there was concern so much that, the British would use, the slaves and the native people against them. Like they would have, British sponsored revolts. And they wouldn't tell you that so much in history as much, but you go and look up at John Adams and what he was using to try to knit them 13 colonies together under one. It was the imminent danger of the enemy within that could be sponsored from outside. And he would tell this one, well, this colony might survive, but you won't. And this one, and he pulling them all together with fear, just like Trump. They're taking our jobs, they're coming over here, they're rapists, they're this, they're that. It's creating that whole, that xenophobia, like a higher level xenophobia, so that now you have the masses coming on together under this one umbrella of preserving the race. As far as they're concerned, they did something noble that day. Yeah. They did something absolutely noble. You know what I mean? Get some more. It said, Patriot plans. You are the revolution. Be a part of history and fight for this country so our children don't have to. Like they're living nice in heaven and their life is so good, they have to create conflict.
Yeah.
They have to invent something because their life is too good. Too good. Meanwhile, black people, we trying to avoid conflict. We trying to just stay out the goddamn way.
Right.
It's all or nothing, patriots. Boldness and bravery is necessary. Now they do this after they done the government, go through all the different the recessions from before the economy crashing, and they just start wars and print money. And they living relatively fat in the earth. And somehow they need this all or nothing. Like if there's so much on the bottom, 1 p.m. meet at this place, different buildings. 1:22 p.m. So they have 22 minutes to gather enough people. Enough people around. At 1:30 p.m., wait for the signal from the lead. Remember, at each building, there's a lead and a hype man. The hype man gonna keep everybody going with the chants, but the lead is the one who he gonna come and say something. Damn near like Putin was not Putin. Pence. Pence was down near the lead, and Trump was the hype man.
Yeah.
And they say storm the building. Salaki, go ahead.
And another thing too, another strategy they use and is coming to light now. I'm thinking about it, but you know, in most battles, they have flags. And flags represent, and even in ancient battle, the flag represent either to move forward or those different flags they had representing different groups. They had their own prospective groups. You had the militia, the Minutemen, the Proud Boys. You had all these different groups. Some are just sprang up, but they all had flags. And when those flags were raised and waved certain ways, that was a signal.
Yep.
That was a signal for each, because in battle, a lot of times you can't relay messages, man to man, because you're in the thick of a battle. So what they used was flag representation. That's another strategy they use in this sedition that they caused upon the Capitol. Yep. on how to let men know and people know to gather here, move here, we in here. You know what I'm saying? That's another strategy they use. I yield, Captain.
Yep, you're right. It's total military. You know what I mean? Total military. This is storm the building. Right. At 1:30, wait for the signal from the lead. And then storm, because they was outside for a minute. Yep. They was outside for a minute and then just broke through. And that's why they say this was a peaceful protest. It was a tour. It was a tour of the whole building. This wasn't nothing peaceful. This lent a whole new perspective on Ashley Babbitt. Right. Like Ashley Babbitt was rightfully put to death. Yeah. Like nobody could say anything different. You had a whole, imagine what's not on this page that was supposed to be done once they made it. Yeah, kind of.
Right.
So like once they made it in, what was on this page that was supposed to be done? Yeah. With the senators who they find and the judges they find. Yikes, boy.
So lucky. And they just arrested an armed man outside Justice Kavanaugh's house.
Right.
And the sister that just got elected, she got personal armed security now. It has caused a rift in the congressional house and all the different branches of government. Like the Lord, he said that, Christ said every unfruitful branch is gonna be cast into the fire. And when you see every branch of this government is being uprooted, as you would say, because there is no trust. They don't trust each. After that happened, Maxine Ward and a lot of them, they don't trust those Secret Service people. They hire their own intel. They don't trust the other side. It's just so easy, right? Because when they ask them, when the Secret Service and those people ask them to escort them out of the building, they said, we're not going anywhere with you. We're staying right here.
They left us.
You understand? They were calling NAACP. Sorry, they were calling other groups to find out what was going on the outside. I'm even hearing that communication was cut in there.
Yeah.
You understand?
You're right. That's what Maxine Waters said. I think she said the only reason they didn't find her is because on her section they don't have the names of the senators on the doors.
Right.
Like, you have to know who is in what office, or else they would have found out who, where she was. Because I think she said there was a guard with her. She ducked in the office to put something. When she came out, nobody's there.
Right.
Nobody was there to secure her. So you so right with that.
Right, and it just shows you more and more why the UPK is right. You know what I'm saying? Those senators and Cory Booker and the rest of all them different people, they know what time it is. They don't want to talk. They don't want to scare the American people. But the American people know more than what you think they know, and especially prophets of the Lord. You understand? This thing has been prophesied for the longest, man. We leaning up on this broken reed. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna pierce us. It's gonna pierce a lot of these black politicians and Hispanic politicians, man. A lot of them, if they know what's best, they'll reach out to Commander GEN.YAHANNA for the right confrontation. You know what I'm saying? And yield the resources they need for to help stabilize Christ, help stabilize this government. Because the government the government that they standing up for is been compromised. And the writing is on the wall. Anytime this happens to a Supreme Court, we talking about a Supreme Court person that's sitting, they say the highest court in the land. Now they able to find your address online.
Yeah.
What else can they find?
I'm just skeptic. Like it's one thing to find it, but there was a time where there was, a common sense of for want of a better phrase, what's holy and what's not. Meaning that there's certain people that are untouchable in any society. In any society, certain people is just, hey, that's so and so house. We don't mess with him. Don't do that. But here is like a total lack of respect. Even with them LGBTQ, remember they went to Pence's house, and they marched up on Pence's house and stood and threatened him. Like it's the fall of their empire. It's Julius Caesar. Yeah. It's not crossing the Rubicon with Caesar. What's the one who was his friend?
Brutus.
It's Brutus going back out there and trying to politic with Mark Antony to hold the masses. It's to hold down the masses because the masses could sway. If they want somebody to pay for something, somebody had to pay for that brown face in office for 8 years. Somebody had to pay for all these, so-called wetbacks and spicks on the border that come in and taking all our jobs. Somebody got to pay for all these Afghans that come in through. Somebody got to pay for these high gas prices. Like everything right now is down here ramping all the way up. It's just ramping again and again and again. Right. And you're gonna see more of this. They're gonna step to whoever. Like you're not holy anymore. Right. You're not respectable anymore in their kingdom, because to them their kingdom is fallen and it's really based on the race. Right. It's based on that original 1776. If I could get a little bit of this article here, because
slavery and arguments about race.
You could read the heading of it.
You can't tell the story of 1776 without talking about race and slavery. Slavery and arguments about race were not only at the heart of the American founding, it was what united the states in the first place.
And just for everybody listening, this is a Time magazine article. This is a Time magazine article. This was, they did their study and came up and came back forward with this result on that whole 1776, expression or that sentiment. That 1776 sentiment. That be the first one. Right. You pull this up? Oh, so
we have been reluctant to admit just how thoroughly the founding fathers talked about, and wrote about race at the moment of American independence. Part of the reason why we haven't fully realized this is because of John Adams. More than 40 years after 1776, an 83-year-old John Adams wanted Americans to know just how astounding it was that America declared independence.
No, most people are familiar with John Adams. You know, I mean, the man who they say was, you know, they credit for bringing them 13 colonies together. Say he did a lot of the footwork, you know, a lot of the you know, the politicking, going and getting, you know, trying to get funding from outside with different countries, the Dutch, you know, Netherlands, you know, England, France. He tried to get whoever he could to help fund this thing to get away from Britain, but to unify the colonies, right? But this is what they're saying, right? Go ahead. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Salah. Go ahead.
An 83-year-old John Adams wanted Americans getting all 13 colonies to reach this same momentous decision. Adams remembered was certainly a very difficult enterprise, and perhaps a singular example of the history of mankind. Colonists really didn't know or particularly like one another. They fought with each other all the time. But something phenomenal happened in 1776,
right? This is what was happening. Like they did not agree. They wasn't together. They was very much separate. They just agreed to occupy the same landmass. But they would fight each other. They was against each other. They was not at all together. Go ahead.
13 clocks were made to strike together, a perfection of mechanism which no artist had ever before effected. Adams was, of course, bragging, subtly suggesting that the work he, Jefferson, Franklin, and the Continental Congress did was much a miracle.
That's how they would talk. That's how they would describe it. You know, the 13 clocks striking together at the exact same time. And you know, I always say history is history, brother. They're writing it how they want to. But this is really what they do to bring the 13 colonies together. Go ahead.
This magical way of thinking is compelling. It created an attractive, exceptional origin story for the United States.
Right? This was an attractive story, an exceptional story for the origin of America. This is what, you know, was good to teach and to pass down. Go ahead.
But it covered up the work that Adams and his colleagues undertook at the time. That work was about publicizing stories to make Americans afraid of British-sponsored slave insurrections and native massacres. He was hiding just how important race was to the founding.
You understand? Like they really, this whole thing with what was driving them to more motivating them into their independence wasn't just taxation without representation. Wasn't just that.
Right.
It was the whole potential of these British people could also now rage a war, and just like Egypt. What did Pharaoh say? What if our enemies,
right,
you know, be friendly slaves, and they will rise up against us?
Right.
It's the same thing living over and over again, and that's the same. It's the same atmosphere you have now with this storm January 6th, storm in the capital. You know, 1776 rebirth.
Right.
You know, the return of 1776. It's the same atmosphere. You can't talk about things about race, and that's why Tario, when he was talking to Commander GEN.YAHANNA, was trying to look past the race thing.
Right.
He's trying. This is not about race. This is not about this. This is not about that. And this is about fighting for the common man and your rights and my rights. But that ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
That's right.
It ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Please,
It's so heavy what you're saying, Captain, because when they say we the people wasn't talking about everybody.
Right.
We the people were talking about white men who own property.
That's right.
Right.
And even when you narrow down the taxation without representation, they were taxing the goods, and we were the goods. It was chattel slavery, the indigo. So when you tax the slaves, the things the slaves produced, it affected the things the slaves produced in the colonies. And that's what they try to run from these things, like you said, Captain Shot, the race. We always talk about the race card.
Yep.
How it's the only card in the deck of life.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when you look at the status, you look in the Oxford Bible history of the Bible, in one of these books, it talks about that, and as far as definition and contextual demographic, that it's hard to define a state as well as a tribe in most cases when you look at biblical terms, but even when you look at constitutional terms, because they have their own identity,
right,
in certain aspects. But when you look at this whole 1776, there's so many different dynamics that happen in that history, and so many things that have not been written in the narrative. But if you look at it's heavy because Captain Osh is bringing out the Latino brothers in the school, man. They bringing out Captain Osh and Captain Kadazai, Kazak, Officer Kazak Yad, and the rest of them brothers, man, bringing out before Columbus. You know what I'm saying? And what happened with the deregulation of slavery before 1776. They don't talk about those different things that happened before, which led up to that. You understand? Which is them creating the identity of, you know what I'm saying, or white supremacy, which was always the forerunner of what they always wanted to do, the new world. You know what I'm saying? So when they say we the people, all men are created equal, when that was written, we were in slavery.
That's right.
Those black people that side with that so-called Proud Boy movement and so forth, man. So the UPK, we got it right. We got it right all the time, man. You just got to catch up.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Salakia, if it was not about race, why even use 1776? Use 1868.
Right.
If it ain't about race, it was all about race.
It was a heavy contributing factor in ramping up support to finally rebel against Britain. And it's the same thing here. It was a heavy contributing factor in ramping up support to rise against, the current regime, to rise against the current, the established regime. Like that's really what they use. We lose in our country, we this, we that, and the force they went in there with, as Commander GEN.YAHANNA always say, is really the hatred of us.
That's
right.
Really the hatred of us, and they feel like they're losing their country, and we all up in there, and they're tired of it.
Yeah.
They got them tired of it.
It's almost like you know what I mean, like the son's trying to fight the father. Like daddy, you all enjoy America, you know what I mean, with having black people enslaved. But let us enjoy it too.
Yeah, let me enjoy it too. Like I don't want the slave where I have to pay to go watch him run a 40-yard dash or throw a football or play a basketball. I want the slave where I could sell his family and breed them. Like you want to take America back to that. Like in their mind, that's what they're fighting for.
And so, like, if I could too, I mean, you go all the way back to Crispus Attucks. You know what I'm saying? The black man that they got shot, saying that he was one of the first casualties of the American Revolution.
Right.
And then even George Washington, after they got so much leeway, they kicked black people out of the Continental Army.
Right.
There had some black people that was fighting up in that army. I don't want to talk about that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They double crossed us every time. Every time we lended our blood, sweat, and tears, they double crossed us, man. And like you said, now we in the age, like I said, they feel like we getting too free, especially in the sports world with the NIL deal. NIL deals those athletes getting, man. You know what I'm saying? With those sports. I mean, name, image, and likeness, that's spiritual. You got control over that now?
Yeah.
That's too much freedom now.
You
understand? The name, image, and likeness.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Like they don't. That's too much. It's like, okay, you can control your image. Okay, all right, you're getting out of hand now. Now we got to change this. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's so heavy. And just going back to that little Nas X thing, man. I was trying to hold my peace, but because I don't want to. I know I'll be in counsel if I'm gonna say something, but I'm gonna tell you, those LGBTQ out, they just as violent. They running interference for these devils. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep us occupied with sexual identity. You know what I'm saying? This false narrative. They want to sexualize food. I mean, want to at Burger King. I mean, are you kidding me? Yeah, 2 top buns, 2 bottom buns, 2 all beef patties, special sauce.
And the ice cream.
Can you imagine what's in the kids' meal? This is what this. So I'll yield. Okay, let me just stop.
Listen, like we all the way in hell are like all the scriptures say. If Christ don't show up in the time, there will be no flesh left to save. You know.
Yeah.
Like these oppressors will be in the capital, and we'll be, you know, the Solomonites will be at your front door, and they will, that's it. That's the life you're living in. Yeah, yeah. Just call on the Lord. If I could just read this last part here, please, because go ahead.
That the Continental, that the Continental Congress felt like Jefferson's anti-slavery sentiments were too controversial, but the accusation of instigated insurrections was not. Suggests just how successful their campaign had been.
You understand? So no, they're saying like by the time they get everything up and running, they said the Congress felt like Jefferson's anti-slavery sentiments were too controversial, right? But the accusation of instigated an insurrection was not really controversial because that was a legitimate, concern. It was a legitimate concern that all these immigrants, all these Mexicans on the borders, they come in here, they're taking our jobs, we losing our place, the white race is shrinking, replacement theory. That's a legitimate thing. That's not controversial. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Come on. Patriot leaders found one thing that white colonists shared: racism.
You understand? Patriot leaders, and that's what them January 6th group that led a coup d'etat. That's what they call themselves in the 9-page PDF. They said, hey, patriots, do this, do that, meet here, wait for the signal. Read that online again, huh?
Patriot leaders found one thing that white colonists shared: racism.
Go ahead.
The founders embraced and mobilized colonial prejudices about potentially dangerous African Americans and used those fears to unite the colonists in one common cause.
You understand? Like Joe, they're so right in what they say. Like America's unification comes from the hatred of Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. I don't know if the viewers listen understand how heavy that line is. Read that one more time from the founder.
Okay. The founders embraced and mobilized colonial prejudices about potentially dangerous African Americans and used those fears to unite the colonists in one common cause.
Them 13 states that don't tread on me, that snake only came together because they hated Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people.
That's right.
That's what forced us together, forced them together. The hatred of us. And that's, that is a diabolical thing. Like, they don't hate the Ukrainians. They don't hate the Afghans. They don't hate the Saudis. They don't hate none of them. But Black people who always serve them, that's who they come together to fight. Not Britain and all. They come together in case Britain gives us weapons to do something. Like if Black people will ever rise up and take over this country. Right. Ever. Keep reading, please.
For too long, we have taken an elderly John Adams at his word about what brought the 13 colonies together. He had forgotten purposefully how 4 decades earlier he had mobilized American prejudices about Black people, what today we will call racism, to get the colonies to come together as one union. That effort made America independent, but it also buried race deep in the cornerstone of the American Republic that was born on July 4th, 1776.
Now, you tell me about damn near critical race theory. You tell me about why critical race theory is so important to them to replace. Because in their own history books, in this same article, they talk about a speech Jefferson made that they destroyed a lot of it because he was so racist in the damn speech. I think somewhere here they have a few lines of what he said. It was a few lines of what he said, but it was so racist in how he would describe us and villainize us for the sake of mobilizing them together and galvanizing them together.
Right.
Like American independence is tied to our hatred.
Right.
Daniel Philando Castile is a perfect picture of what happened. Because he was shot on a July 4th weekend. It was a July 4th week, not exactly July 4th. It was like the 2nd or July 1st. Right. He was shot. But it's down there like it's a perfect picture of how they really got their country. And that's the capital on January 6th. It was driven by the same racial hatred of Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. That's what it really was.
Damn
It was
right, Ken.
because they hated Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people.
Right.
So, Locke, if I could, can I say one thing too, Captain?
Please.
And it's so spiritual that they have that snake on the "Don't tread on me," on that "Don't tread on me" flag, and that is what he is. He's the old serpent, like the scriptures say.
Yep.
But there's one coming who's going to tread on him.
That's right.
Christ, the Bible said that there's one coming that treadeth the winepress.
That's right.
And he gonna tread on him until that he's beat into pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our King Yahweh. He's coming to tread on him. You understand? On all his power, he's going to bruise the head of that serpent.
Yes,
you understand? Like that right there. If you look at this right here, man, like that was his symbol, and it's so spiritual because that is the same serpent that beguiled Eve. That's the same serpent, that old serpent, as the scriptures said, man. How don't you see the similarities to our oppressor when the Bible speaks about it, man? Like these people here, like Captain Shock said it so eloquently, you Ukrainians are more American than you are, even though you've been here. The Ukrainians are more, white supremacy is a global, it's when they say all men are created equal, they were talking about all white men that came here.
Right.
The Dutch, the Irish, the Brit, like they all mean under white supremacy. That's only people they viewed as men. And what you see going on, this whole thing with the war in Ukraine, it damaged that because they're like, man, the world's seeing us fight each other. And it's going to spiral out of control more and more and more. You know what I'm saying? The closer we get to the end, brothers and sisters, which is why we have to unite now. We have to come together, man, because for sure, this serpent here, you see them rattles on the end of it. You understand? What does a rattlesnake do when it get ready to strike? They start making noise.
Yeah.
You seeing the noise happen right now. With all this right here going on, and like I said one, I said again, it's gonna happen on a local level. It's gonna happen on the local level. Don't think they won't storm the state house in your city. You know what I'm saying? If they was really smart, they'd be opening a firing squad on everybody, making an example out of them. You understand?
Listen,
they'll be if they was really smart. I'm just saying, from a government standpoint, doing this type to overthrow the government, they would what Christ said. He said, if this was my kingdom, my servants will fight. This ain't his kingdom. But he know in his kingdom, it ain't gonna be no opposition to his rule.
Right.
You understand? But for sure, in this kingdom here, they do what the hell they want to. But if they were smart, they would make examples out of these traitors in their kingdom, especially in the middle of a war.
Listen,
I yield.
You so right about that. Like once again, they do because it's a so-called democracy, and because America does things in that democratic way, they damn have to have the support of the public and the world, the countries around. That's why they're demonizing, Russia so goddamn much. All these prices going up since Russia did this. By the time they're ready to drop bombs on Russia or try Russia, everybody gonna be backing them because everybody gonna be tired of it. Like even with this situation here, like they're trying to sway it in the opposite way to make the public feel this was just a protest that got out of hand.
Right.
This was just, it was similar to, the black people who destroy police cars in the protests. It was just a protest that got out of hand. Y'all burn down buildings, y'all rioting, y'all burn down the riot. So what? They went in the Capitol. They're trying to make it seem like it's that, because if it goes with the other thing, as you say, Kahan, that's, that's a firing squad there, right there. Listen, you don't even have to attempt to do it.
Right.
The fact that document was created and sent and funded. Question: how are we gonna do this? What will happen in this part, brother? Whoever paid the internet bill for you to open that email going to jail? I'm telling you straight up. Listen, you level of conspiracy to get whoever out of office, brother. Everybody. How Teddy Brockshot said, I want them all dead. I want them all gone. Who pay the internet? Who feeding the dog? The dog that barking, that protecting them while they're plotting. That dog had to go. You had to make an example of everybody.
Rico.
You have to.
They need to be hitting them with the Rico, like the whole thing with the same thing they do these drug, like hey, try to come at these rappers with in these gangs and all that. You hit them with a Rico, man. I mean, they locking up everybody. How is it that you haven't that this high level? We talking about the Capitol building. Captain Soccer War said something heavy. It reminded me, man, being down there in DC, man, you drive down there, you get close to that Capitol building, you on the phone, your phone call gonna drop. you get close down there, and you ain't moving or going where they think you should be going. You watch how stuff start changing around, how cars pull up and they watching you and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your phone lose signal. They jamming your like you breathe wrong down that Capitol building. Somebody always watching down there.
Yeah.
Plain clothes and non-clothes. There's somebody always watching from rooftops, etc. That building is heavily guarded. There's no way in hell you telling me that they can protest and storm their way into the Capitol without. Come on, man. You ain't talking to no fools out here. Everybody ain't sleep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody know that what the U.P.K saying is right. Everybody know it, man. Fox News know we saying is right. That's why they're trying to turn up the heat. Because they're saying black extremists is calling the card on this. They know what the hell we saying is right.
That's right.
And they're afraid it's gonna set a precedent. It already has.
Mm-hmm. If I could, sir, this whole thing is playing out like what happens when you break the first rule of Fight Club, which is to talk about the Fight Club. Like these devils had the whole Tyler Durden operation, and somebody mentioned the Fight Club, and now they got him in trial, going to court, and now everybody breaking the first rule of Fight Club. They singing, they giving up all the names, and Esau gonna run it up the ladder. You understand? But it's high time for our people to realize that there's no playing a side in this white man's struggle, in this man's battle against himself. There is no side for you to choose. The only side that is available to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is the Lord's. And if you don't choose the Lord's side, then you will be on the losing side. Because after all of this plays out, the only thing that is going to stand is those who are on the right side of the Most High in Christ with our King Yahushua when he returns. And so it would behoove you to take heed to the words that are coming out of the mouths of the priests and the prophets of the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding GEN.YAHANNA, because we are giving the only solution that is available, and that is to come out of her, America, all the ideologies and the philosophies and the sexualities, and to turn to the Lord and to seek what it means to be righteous and to be honorable and to have integrity and to serve the Lord. I yield.
Yeah, okay, man. We will over the time. I think we dissect the 1, the 7, the 7, and the 6. I think we brought that thing all the way down. I think we went all the way with that thing right there. And for sure, if listen, Christ, it wasn't his kingdom, and even Judas had to die for betraying him. Like even Judas had to die for leading a revolt against the king who wasn't even sitting on the throne. How much more that do these oppressors need to face the death penalty for what they did? They killed 3 cops, and Ashley Babbitt, who you're crying over, who was one of the insurrectionists, one of the extreme ideologists, got killed, and you all want to make us cry over her. Listen, man, she wanted to die. She was one of the patriots. She wanted to die. I ain't gonna go no longer. If you're too wild with it, we'll wrap it up there for tonight. Another installment Saturday night. You know what I mean? We pull it down for Command General live on all the different platforms. Command General every Monday night live at 9 p.m. live for the Black Watch News, the whole heavy hitting crew live on Black Watch Command General live every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday nights live at 9 p.m. You know, every Monday morning, the General Haas has the Letter Hebrew Speak live at 10 a.m. 12 noon is Captain Azana with the Hidden Truth Revealed live from upstate Syracuse, New York. 7 p.m. Salakia, 7 p.m. General Mahaiman has a scripture breakdown Monday in Philly. On Thursday, usually in New York, in headquarters. Y'all check it out. Contact your camp leaders if you want to be in the class every Monday and every Thursday, rather, I should say. Or Monday as well, I believe. Wednesday, Ask Ye the Prophets, 11 a.m. with General Mayak and Officer Yedaya every Wednesday at 11 a.m. And Wednesday night, you'll know Commander Gen.YAHANNA back again live on Black Watch, 9 p.m. Thursday, Scripture Breakdown class, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. with General Mahaiman. And at 10 p.m., you'll cross the line radio with Captain Tazaria, Captain Katazar, always having a good show, always having a powerful show. I don't know why people even call in and ask them questions no more. I think it's a whole celebrity fetish with them people who call in there. Like, nigga ain't lose one battle ever. Right. Could prove every goddamn thing. Could prove who your father is, some of y'all. God. Yeah, and you're still calling in. Like, what you think you're going to win? I think at this point it's a celebrity finish. Like, hey, I was on Tazari, actually. He whipped my ass, nigga. Oh, damn, he whipped my ass? God damn, nigga. He whipped your ass. Hey, Tazari, I whipped my ass. I don't know. Why y'all still calling, man? God damn. You know what I mean? Around 1 a.m. Eastern time, which is around 10 p.m. West Coast time. Yeah, One West Radio, Captain Gadalhan, whole West Coast crew, Captain Kwam, Fabuwan, Regalia, Tawagaba, all the brothers out there rocking it out. Friday, I've unplugged from the Matrix, 12 noon from North Carolina, Captain Yagawa, Officer Isaac, and Fabuwan rocking it down there from 12 noon. Also Friday, 4 p.m., you have on the ends, live from the UK, Officer Karathi, Officer Dumgaba, sometimes Captain Prasha pull through. They're rocking it out, giving you the whole UK report, everything that's going on there, black and white and the Queen and everybody else. And of course, Saturday night, we here holding it down all the way, every Saturday night, 9 p.m., holding down for Commander Gen.YAHANNA, rocking it out tonight. He sometimes will always be on too. I mean, keep it locked in. Check us out, like, share, and subscribe. And of course, Sunday you have Captain Kahan and Officer Wanyala doing the Boot Up or Shut Up radio. Salaki, if I forget anybody, Sunday they're doing Boot Up or Shut Up radio live from hell. We're reporting down there. Boot Up or Shut Up, Captain Kahan and the Wanyala. You all check them out. Salaki, if I forget anybody, I know Captain Kapash do a podcast too. I think it's every Wednesday or Thursday. About the time. Y'all check out UPK all the way, man. ISUPK.com. Come on, go and take us out, man.
Damn right, like the captain said, man. Big up to all the captains that's on the show, man. All the captains out there, officers, the troopers, and the sisters that support the brotherhood and the sisterhood, man. Make sure you pay your tithes. Don't short the Lord, man. Make sure you pay your tithes. You see the Proud Boy, they were paying they dues and all that other stuff. Pay your tithes, man. Send in your donations. You know what I'm saying? Support the I.S.U.P.K, Commander Gen.YAHANNA, and all the great works that he's done with pennies. So how much more would you do if you support this nation, man? UPK, we not the only one. We number one. We right. Hit like. You really care, you need to hit share. We're out of here.
Damn right, man. Once again, I feel one. Yeah, I was thumbs.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man, shit, nigga. They turn their head over, nigga.
Where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening. Is it effective? If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jack. So Tower War, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do baby, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them a bird feeder. Claiming he a demon, what's a demon to a cult leader? When he said something, I ain't hear him, this shit light. It ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. 6 shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand and feed you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow sign, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.